Hello everybody out there, this is Kris Nicholson, and I just wanted to show you updates on this little guy, which is really cool. As you can see, it looks a little different, which is really neat. I'm almost getting to the finish line of basically assembling this and building the parts. After I build all the parts, I want to make sure that all the parts are built and it's working perfectly. I am going to start coloring it, which is first I have to put another, probably another layer of, it's like a plastic coating, which I'm going to actually put on here. I'm going to experiment first. You know, I'm going to buy the lacquer. It's going to be a satin black, and I'm going to sand this down so it's nice and smooth, and I'm going to spray the whole piano with a satin black, you know, lacquer, and actually rub it down so it's like a Steinway finish of satin black lacquer. But yeah, there's lots I have to show you on here. As you can see, this is very little. This is basically, it's a 4 foot. It's a 4 foot, but it's modeled after my 7'2" right here. So that actually is a 4'2", this is 7'2". And what I had to do is I had to take a lot of the specs off of this piano, which this is my Youngsheng 7'2" semi-concert grand, and shrink it down in my brain and basically have it as little, just like this. A lot of people's asking me, Kris, why would you do it to a little piano? Why would you make it little? You know, why not a full 88? Number one, I wanted to break the mold of portable pianos and portable keyboards. So Korg made the Micro series, which is basically the Micro Station, Micro Arranger, the Micro Key Airs series, and they made it as a 61. You know, they made them basically 61 keys. So this is the only mini 61 key, portable 61 key. Of course, I could take anywhere, which is no problem. But I always wanted to make a piano that is portable and that looks like a piano. So I actually did it. Another thing is that most of this, 75% of this is wood. Yes, 75% of this is wood, and you're looking at the sides right here. The sides is the only thing that is cardboard around, but there's a catch to it. Right in front here, there is 6 layers of cardboard. As you go throughout the whole rim, there's 4 layers of cardboard going around until you get to like right around to the sides right over here. In between the cardboard is evenly cut wood. Very strong wood. So, and I'm a kind of person, I don't like to cheat when I build stuff. When I build stuff, I want it to last. So, just to show you an example, you can't do this to a cardboard piano. You cannot do this to a cardboard piano. You can't do this to a cardboard piano. So I'm standing up, wiggling on it. You can't do that. I can dance on it, which is pretty cool. So that's, you know, I'm not that much of a dancer, but of course I got my socks on, everybody, so I don't have my shoes on. But you cannot do this to a cardboard piano. So how did you do it? Yes. How did I do it? I had years and years of basically research training. When I took apart digital pianos, like say for instance, I have the Williams digital piano right over here. The Williams digital piano is fully made out of wood. That's the first digital piano I've ever seen fully made out of wood. They didn't cheat. They got all wood parts in there, which is really good, except for the keyboard and the electronics. I took apart a Korg digital piano. It's an older one, and it's particle board. I took apart a Suzuki digital piano, and in between the Suzuki, it's cardboard. Just what you see here. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to make this piano easy to build, that's strong, that looks like a piano? So if I wanted somebody to sit on top of it and look at me like that while I'm playing, it's able to do that. And so I accomplished that part. So this is my little mini stage and everything like that, which is really cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up both pianos and show you the difference how it looks open. Of course, I'm going to give you guys a panoramic view of what I did to this piano. And I'm still not finished building a lot of stuff yet, so. Of course, you can stand up on this as a regular piano or whatever. But this little guy right here, as I open this, you know it's weird, as I open this, it gives me a little bit of weight from the first lid to the second lid right here. This weighs. This does weigh a little bit. So this is very, very strong wood. What I use is I use a laminate ply. So this is basically like 6 layers of laminate ply with 3 layers of a laminate ply on top, which is good for the trim. So got a newly designed lid prop. The lid prop could go 2 positions. So I kind of copied the Steinway method, which is one right here and one right there, which is really cool. So now what I'm going to do is, before I play it, I'm going to just show you guys the details. I'm going to open up the fall board right here. And so let's go around the front and I'm going to show you guys the details. So here's the front of the piano, everybody, which is really cool. I had to make this piano kind of similar to that, or Steinway, which I was trying to actually prove. But that's the front of the piano right here, and as you can see, there's a music desk. Music desk right here, slides back and forth, comes out. I can take out the whole music desk completely. I don't have a locking mechanism, which I'm building. I'm going to build a locking mechanism, but this folds up. That's the music desk right there, which is good, and slides in. And I could have the lid in different positions, which is really neat. All right, so what's driving the digital piano? And I'm going to put this on my regular piano. What's driving the digital piano, bring it closer, as you can see, is my Korg microstation. This Korg microstation, any Korg workstation digital synthesizer or this workstation itself, this is sick. This is crazy. This is unbelievable. One thing I like about Korg is that you can take a Korg keyboard and design it as your own workbase, your own keyboard, which is really cool. Before I get to that, here's the fall board. Just like on a regular Steinway D or a Steinway B, it opens up and closes. There's a one-piece fall board, just like on a regular grand piano. On top of that, what I did is I added the flap, which is really cool. 61 velocity keys. Got the cheek blocks right over here. This is a beveled key slip, so it's kind of curved in a little bit, which is really good. I got the soundboard to look just like a soundboard. This is the 3-layered laminate ply, and I'm using Kerwin Vega speakers with the bass boosters. So what I did is I made a chamber inside here, and the chamber splits in half, which separates the right side to the left side. This is my main volume over here. I have a USB cord hooked up to it because I'm tweaking some instruments. But yeah, that's the main volume right over here. So, how does it sound? And that's a bright piano. And I'm still tweaking some instruments right here. I actually have a little laptop computer right over here, which I'm trying to hear this in full volume. Because one thing about it is that when I play this, some might be a little bit too tinny, like this instrument right over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into the effects, and I wish I could show you a screen right over here. I could calm down much better. And I'm trying to get used, you know, it's weird. I'm trying to actually get used to the keys as much as I do, which is really good, huh? Sounds really good. So let me show you, before I play even more, I'm going to show you more about the piano, which is awesome features that I actually put on here. What I have to do is I have to take this off the stand and show you around. The legs I upgraded, just like on the legs on a regular grand piano. This one I kind of copied the Steinway patterns, which is really cool. The lyre, it's upgraded, and the lyre actually has the three. What was I gonna say? The three lyre rods that are on there, and they're secured, which is really cool. So when I press the pedal, I got a sustain pedal right up there, which is actually you know, not nailed in, but screwed in. I have a, what's that? Like a strip right there, which is really cool. So I could put in more powers, a power strip. Sorry about that. So I could put in more, you know, more stuff like my computer. And remember, I'm gigging out with this. And that over there, that's a MIDI box. So I can hook up more MIDI modules or whatever to it. So, here's the speakers. The Kuro and Vegas that are in there, plus a bass boost. And take a good look at this piano, because I tell you this, once I get the materials, which is next month, to cover this whole thing, and it's sprayed black, it's gonna look just like a Steinway. I guarantee that. It's gonna look really cool with the satin black. Alright, so I'm gonna go around the other end. Sorry about the blurriness. But over here, see if I could get a better picture of this. On the left side, come on, there you go. On the left side, you see right over here, there's two huge rails. There's two huge bars that I put on the left side. Those are basically on concert grand. They use those as like moving. Like say for instance, every time you move a grand piano, you have a grand board that it goes on there. With the concert grand, they already have it built in, and all you need is your moving dolly. So you don't need a grand board at all. All you need is your moving dolly. This also protects the finish of the of this side of the piano, and also it protects the lid, so you don't actually have to remove the lid, which is cool. My present piano on this side doesn't have it, and I would like to install it on there, which is really good. But look on my present piano. You see how the lid kind of angles in? Which is, that is because it has an extended soundboard. And that's only found on bigger pianos, probably more expensive pianos, concert grand pianos. And so I did the same thing right here. I took the measurements and everything of my, my present Young Chang, and I just basically kind of mimicked everything on here. So I'm gonna go in front of both pianos, just to show you. See, there's the angled lid, and it's not just the whole lid, it's the whole piano that it kind of curves in at an angle. And that's the extended soundboard. That gives you more room for, here, I can show you right here. Sorry about the lighting, everybody. It gives you more room for basically, for sound space to travel on the soundboard. And so you see it right there, and everybody's gonna think, oh, that's a mistake. You did it angly. And no, it's not a mistake. It's an extended soundboard. So when you close it up, it looks like it's an even piano. And it's the same thing over here. And I know everybody, once I show you guys this, you guys are gonna look at your pianos and see if you have this on your grand pianos. But you see it right there? It's basically the same thing. Mine is angled in a little bit more, just to show it off. So let's see if I can get a light on there real quick. Okay, there you go. You can see it right there. And I'm trying to hold the iPad and show you at the same time, but it's angled. And that's the extended soundboard area, which is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to play both pianos and test the loudness of both pianos. So let's put this right here. And I wish I had a camera guy, everybody. See, we can get a good picture of both of them. Okay, so let's start with the regular grand piano. This little guy might be a lot louder, but here we go. This is my little mini concert grand, and the reason it's not as big as a concert grand like a regular one, but to me it resembles a miniature concert grand, and I just love it. This has been an all-time dream that I have. Not only because a lot of people say you can use a regular piano, of course, yeah, but with this piano I can basically take anywhere. You know, it's portable. Put it on a little dolly. Take anywhere. You have your amplifier. I have my input for my iPad. You know, and it looks like a regular piano. So when a finished product comes out, it's not going to be a high polished black like this. It's going to be a satin ebony, which is basically a matte finished black, which is very good. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this. What I love about this piano is that not only that you have piano, but if I was playing with the Suitcase Road the other day. Now you're gonna hear me clunk a lot of keys because I'm still trying to get used of this keyboard at this height. At the same time, what I'm doing is I'm using the pedals. Now, on a regular concert grand, the pedals are a little bit forward, so I put them a little back on here because with this seat, this is how much I'm going to actually be sitting on. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but it's tiny. It's basically little. So what I have hooked up to the piano, I have the Korg microstation editor, and what I'm doing at the same time is that I'm listening to the instruments. Them as I go along to see if the highs are too high. And I'm tweaking them as I go along. So say for instance, if I get back to a regular piano, the piano is a little too bright. It's a little too bright, so what I want to do is I want to calm that down. And I call that the K. Nicholson piano because I like to have it bright. But so I'm just going to calm it down just a little bit. Sorry for my mistakes, everybody. Any instrument that I play on here, like if I was going to do a sequence and I wanted to play drums, what I could do is either I could do it on a computer or I could just select category. So go to drums right here. Now, these drums right over here, I EQ'd them. So they're friends with the speakers. Which is really neat. I'm going to bring the camera right around here so I can show you exactly what I'm doing. All right. So as you can see, the computer right over there, and that is the editor software that I'm using to edit all the instruments, which is really cool. And just to show you that drum sound I edited, but here's the drum sound that I did not edit. And there's some that are very low, and some that are very loud. Like these are all low. No matter how I put them on, they're all low. So I'm going through each and every sound. And making sure every single sound is going through the speakers, which is good. Korg, I don't know why. Korg seems to do that with a lot of their instruments. One thing I like to play over here is a string sound. I haven't worked on it because I wanted to make it a little bit more sharper, a little bit lasting longer, but and of course you got the combination, which is strings and piano. Good, but it sounds a little too muffled to me. It doesn't sound live. And so I'm going to go through each and every instrument and make sure. The only instruments that I cannot edit on here is the general MIDI instruments. General MIDI is basically like 128 instruments and probably 8 or 16 drum kits. Now it's upgraded, so it's probably like 16. And they're preset inside any keyboard that you buy. But with the programs on the Korg, you can actually edit them, and you can make it your own sound, which is really neat. One of his other sounds, let's see if I can find it on here, which is pretty cool. I was looking for like the orchestra sounds, dynamic orchestra. Once I play that, the bass woofers are kind of a little bit too loud, so I got to even everything out, which is really neat. Drama. For those who have a microstation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was thinking, and what I was debating so much in my head, to instead of putting the microstation in here, I was gonna just put the micro key air, or I was gonna put the micro arranger inside here. The problem, the micro arranger is pretty cool. I was still thinking about it. The micro arranger is pretty cool, but the only thing about the micro arranger is that I have to cut into the keyboard to make it fit in. And with the microstation, this is all I get right here. If it's down just a little bit, I get to see all the components of this keyboard. I did not have to cut into the keyboard at all. I didn't have to, I mean, of course I dissected it, but the sides are still attachable. I didn't have to use a jigsaw to cut into different parts just to lay out everything. I didn't have to actually dissect the whole keyboard and redo it again. It just came in one piece. So I thought this was the perfect companion for it. When I read the specs of the micro arranger versus the microstation has 120 note polyphony, and it has a better sound chip, which is the EDSI sound chip, which is excuse my mistakes, everybody. What's this one? It's called Deep Island. I love the orchestra sounds. Golden strings. Now, this keyboard, I'm going to tell you this keyboard, the microstation, I ignored it. I bought it, I used it twice, and I put it up on my shelf with a whole bunch of my other keyboards, and I ignored it, and I didn't really give that much time to it. I tried out the sequencer. It's very easy. I tried out the voice editing and everything. It's very easy. A lot of button pushes how you do it right here, but if you have the editor, which is on my laptop right over here, I got a cold, I'm sorry. If you have the editor, it's much easier to do things. So I'm like, before a show, let me plan how I want the instrument to sound. Let me plan how I want my rhythms to sound. And I can store everything on an SD card, which is pretty cool. The micro arranger, it's basically built-in rhythms. It's basically a PA, a Korg PA 60 shrunk down, which is really good. And the sounds that you get out of here, excuse me, the sounds that you get out of here, you cannot get into the micro arranger at all. And so I lean more towards this because it's a lot easier. And if I was going to build another one of these, I would get another micro station, which is sick. Let's see what else you got. This is called Velovox. Let's go into the keyboard. This is called Heaven Pad. Let's see, those film piano. So, if I want to write a song, of course I could do it on any keyboard. I got a Kronos, but of course I could do it on any keyboard. But if I want to be more inspired and just write a song on a grand piano. Once this is fully finished, like this, I'm going to be even more inspired, and I'm just going to sit down with my headphones and write a lot of songs, plus try it out with the speakers when nobody's here. Okay, this is called Night EP. Wow, gives you that rhythm. Try to find a regular acoustic piano or digital piano that can do that, which is good. Whirly Jam. It has that I can shut off those arpeggiations. Not even know I have this on here. So I can turn it off right there. Okay, this probably has it too. This is called Funk Jam. A lot of these, I haven't explored this, so a lot of these, you know, I'm a spoiled brat. I have tons and tons of keyboards, even a Kronos and a Phantom, and I have not explored most of them. Most of them I buy them because of the name. I buy them because of the piano sound. The piano sound, if it's a good piano sound, it sells me. I'm buying it. Just like this. This was a good piano sound, and it just sold me, and I just bought it. And I explored it once, but I haven't gone too deep into it, which is good. This is called Famous EP. Let's try this. See if it has an arpeggiation. It doesn't, but it's really cool. But you see what I'm saying with the EQ? Breath piano. I want some organs. Organ split. Has a bass line. gospel organ. Okay, let's see if there's a bass line. Yeah. That's not gospel. Oh. I wish this had a karma feature that I could change the polarity of stuff like that. Wow. I'm still in combination mode, so I'm going to get out of combination, go to programs. I just want to hear the regular organ sound. The voices, what is that? Oh, by the way, everybody, I was playing half volume. This is full volume right here. So I gotta fix that. I have to EQ that, which is... Oh, keep in mind too, the soundboard is not screwed in. The reason the soundboard is not screwed in yet is because I have to put the colors on it. I have to, I have to do the coloring, and I have to first put the veneer on it. I have to do a whole bunch of other work, so to make it look like a real piano. So after the finished product, you're not going to see any cardboard sides, and you're not going to see a lot of this wood. You're going to basically see a black satin finish piano shrunk down that looks like a real piano. But it's just cool. This doesn't have aftertouch, but it does respond to aftertouch using a different keyboard, which is really cool. If you wanted this as a separate module and you don't need the keys, this can actually be one, which is really cool. It's fanfare. Oh, by the way, you have addition buttons. I thought it was going to go something like... trumpet. I can remove the music desk or move it back just a little bit if I wanted to do with the joystick. A lot of people are going to ask me, why didn't I put the joystick right here? The reason of that is because when I close it, it's going to block it. So that's why I didn't put the joystick right there. So I have to suffer my own self and put it right over here. Just leave it right here. On top of that, if I did put the joystick right here, it leaves this as an empty spot. And I didn't want that, so it's which is good. Big band, which is good. There's a lot of EQing I have to do. Let's see. My set? Wow. Very loud. Very loud. So I have to calm that down. As I said, there's a lot of instruments that are loud. There's a lot of instruments that are soft. So all the EQing, and I usually play with the music desk down. Check this out. Almost. That was a blooper right there. I haven't locked it in, so. I love this piano right over here, which is, of course, the M1 piano. loud. You have to do it like this. And that's too loud for that, so I gotta edit that. I have to edit that. But one of my favorites is Suitcase Roads. That's my cat right there. It has this is actually a stage piano, so this is like more of a hammered rose. Nice. If I turn it up, you get to hear like the amp. Which is really cool. Okay, a lot of people also is going to ask me, and good thing I can explain this to you guys, how did I select my wood, basically. I made sure that the wood didn't bow or didn't bend. I went to Home Depot, and I love Home Depot, don't get me wrong. If you guys are working at Home Depot or your CEOs at Home Depot, I love you guys, but you guys have to check your wood. A lot of the wood pieces were like this and like that, and I was like, no, you can't do that. So what I usually do is I not only take a tape measure to measure the wood, but I also take a leveler, like say for instance from their level department, and make sure that the wood is actually leveled equally. I put it on the floor. The floor is of course equally. I put it on the floor and bounce the wood, and making sure it doesn't wobble or basically, you know, there's no turns in the wood. One thing I don't like is, say for instance, well, you don't see it here. Yeah, you don't actually see it here. But a lot of wood pieces, they have knots in them. I don't buy wood with knot pieces in them because knots, they basically just, it destroys the sound, number one. Number two, after a while, the knots, because the wood has been assembled in a company, the knots kind of unglue itself, and then you see a big hole where it should not be. But yeah, there's no knots here. And I feel the wood texture. I feel the surface. Make sure it's super, super, super smooth. If it's not smooth, and it has like little ridges or bumps on it, it's not good. The reason is that the minute you put a screw inside the wood, it's going to split, and you have to buy a new piece of wood or crumble again. The soundboard, this is what I had to do for the soundboard. This was very, very straight. I mean, the soundboard was flat, 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 flat. It was the right color, but it was flat. And so what I had to do to make it curve, I had to put the regular piece of soundboard, which is the 6-layer ply, in with the 3-layer ply, and put the glue underneath it. I mean, sorry, in between it. Once I did that, I had to leave it out in the sun for like around 3 to 4 hours. Once I left it out in the sun, it bowed it just a little bit like this. So instead of having it straight, it was basically straight. It bowed it like that. And I'm like, great, because I was trying to figure out how to bow the soundboard. You know, with the soundboard, it has to be bowed. It has to have that crown. And that sound, that speaking level level. Even if you have speakers in here, once I take out the speakers, it sounds very, 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 very tinny, and there's no bass to it. So the soundboard gives it that crown and gives it the speaking level of the piano, just like an acoustic piano. You might look at this acoustic piano and you think it's a flat soundboard. It's not. It's actually crowned. And so I did the same thing on here, and I added this bar, which was a little bit crowned. The minute I put the lacquer on top of that and then on top of the soundboard, it crowned it a lot. Left it outside in the sun for a day, and it did its job. It did its job, which is really, really good. But it hasn't changed since. So once I screw in the soundboard, it's actually perfect. It hasn't changed. So this is definitely my piano project, everybody. I mean, I just love showing this to you. I'm showing you the progress of basically what I did to it. It took a lot of measurements. It took a lot of, I know a lot of people's gonna get mad at me because I didn't make a before video or a process of basically what I was doing, how to make this piano. And I will show that in another video. I would definitely show it in another video because I do plan to make another one of these. I'm thinking about making an upright version, and also I'm thinking about making even a longer concert grand version. A longer concert grand and probably a baby grand version of this. But I want to make more pianos as I go along, but I will definitely tell you exactly what I did with this piano, and I could show you exactly what I did. Once I remove this tape, all these tapes and stuff like that, I'm actually going to put another piece of cardboard on top of it, or I might put the thin layer of wood on top of it. So I will show you exactly what's in between the cardboard, the kind of wood that I use, and how did I make it very even and very strong that you can actually sit on it. This is what I'm also going to show you, which is pretty cool. Take the sound, and you can't. I cannot, like cardboard, you can actually rip it while you're doing this. It's not budging. It's not budging at all. So, yes, I made sure that the rim of the piano is gonna actually last. It's gonna go through any kind of structured damage that I do with this, and the rim is not gonna burst, so it's not gonna break. It's not gonna do anything. When I had it on its temporary legs, I didn't have the. I was just basically. When I had it on its temporary legs, the temporary legs were made out of particle board. And I thought I could get away and I could use that. I moved it from one section over there, and all the legs fell right in, and the piano fell. It didn't hurt anything. Not even a scratch on the, well, you can't even tell, but it did not dent the rim. It did not move the rim in different positions. So it's unbelievable. It's just really, really cool. So let me flip through some more sounds on here. I'm gonna go back into the combination, and let's go into like the synth sounds. That is cool. This is called Hip Hop King. I don't know what to expect. Yeah. That's different. Very, very loud. So I gotta figure that out. Ice synthesizer. Let's see. Wow. Let me latch it. Nice. All right. found on here, which is pretty cool. Let me go to programs, and they have actually, see if I can find the vocals on here. I think it's in strings. And there was one in here. See if I can find it on here. Take voices. Which is really cool. Ooh, voices. Oz. See, I wanted them to sound like Oz. Robot voice. What's this one? Not bad. Also, let's see. I already went through the brass. Oh, you know what I wanted to go through? The organs. To go to keyboards. Needs a word. Clave. So let's go to clave. Let's see. Percussive organ. Not bad. Here's a mellow piano. Oh, let me try this. The lid's up right now, so let me close the lid. Let me close the lid fully. How about that? There we go. Put this up. Oh, hold on a minute. It's quiet. There we go. Put it in. Still going over cold. Make sure it's up all the way. Yep, it's up all the way. I can do it right here. Let me try that on a regular, one of my acoustic piano settings with the lid closed. So let's see, category, keyboard, here you go. Brighter piano. And with it open. No. See, I gotta get used to the keys. That's with it open. A lot of people's going to ask me basically if I could play like ragtime or boogie woogie on it. The boogie woogie, hold on a minute, let me just do something real quick. The boogie woogie is going to be kind of tricky to actually to do stuff on here. So I'm going to give you guys an example of that. Hold on a minute. I'll give you guys an example. So let me calm this down. Hold on a minute. Much better. Let me write that into the program. There we go. So I can write it. Whatever I do on here, I can just write it and it saves it. So if I'm doing a boogie woogie rhythm, instead of doing... If I'm doing a key of C, I could probably do that, you know, get away with it like but I'm mostly doing key of C is easy, which is different other keys like B flat, it's going to be kind of hard. So I have to do, you know, those spaces. So I got to get used to that. Instead of going all the way down like I usually do, I have to bring myself up a little bit more. Doing blues is easy, which is good. Workstation, I can design that whole track, which is really neat. I mean, this is basically a cool project, and honestly, what I was expecting it to be is a little bit more lighter. I didn't expect me to actually sit or dance on the piano. Look at this. This is the lyre. I'm kicking it. It's perfect. It's solid. It's solid as a rock. The reason of that is because it got really, really big bolts holding this thing, and I mean, because it has the rubber wheel, so it's gonna go from side to side. It's no problem. But once I put the caster cups underneath it, it's not gonna fall or anything, which is really good. But and so this is my little mini concert grand piano, which I built. And I mean, write your comments, what you think about it. You know, I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to see if you guys are seeing the same angle. Yeah, you guys are. I absolutely just love this little creation, and I just can't wait until the finished product. The reason I'm rushing, you know, it's weird, and I'm going to tell everybody this. I was doing a teddy bear costume, which I did last year. I was revamping the teddy bear costume, make it lighter, still still have it big, make it lighter, and just basically just make it better, you know. Which I'm gonna get back to the teddy bear costume probably next month or something like that. And the whole place was filled with teddy bear stuffing, teddy bear parts. I ordered another teddy bear, which I just got. It was kind of like a little bit of the wrong color. So I went over to Home Depot, and that's Home Depot. They had a big bunny rabbit. So I got 2 of those, and I got the parts for that, which is really cool. And after that, I seen a picture of the Liberace puppet. I mean, the actual puppet, somebody with the Liberace puppet with the little piano. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that just took me back to my childhood years when I used to make these out of cardboard. Just straight out of cardboard. And so what I did is I basically, I thought about it in my mind. I'm like, can I make this piano again? You know, I mean, I used to make them out of cardboard when I was like 10 years old and stuff like that. Can I make this piano again? And a lot of people's going to ask me, Chris, why did you make them out of cardboard? Back then, we had a big old upright. And I had a Casio keyboard, like from... No. It was 4 octaves, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So, that's all I had. It didn't even sound like a piano or anything. So, I always wanted a grand piano. And we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it at all. So I built the cabinet out of cardboard. My mom had a refrigerator box, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. She's like, why don't you make a fort or a house and stuff like that out of it? Instead of that, I made a piano. I took, and they were amazed. And they're like, wow, you made pianos out of it. I used to make them out of cardboard. And when I was living in South Florida, I made them out of cardboard too, until we got our first grand piano, which is really cool. And when we got our first grand piano, you haven't seen these for a very, very long time. When I was making this piano, I was trying to figure out basically if I want to make this thing fully out of cardboard. And I'm like, no, Chris, you don't want to make this thing fully out of cardboard, because if the rain hits it or somebody bumps it, it's just gonna wilt. It's not gonna be stable, you know. So I'm like, okay, out of all the parts of the piano, what do I need to be flexible? And cardboard is what I could use as flexible. So out of all the parts of the piano, if you look at all the other parts of the piano, they're flat. They're all flat. This piece of wood over here, flat. Except this curves up, but I got that off of another piano. But they're all flat. Only thing that's curved is the rim. You know, everything else is flat. Everything else is just basically flat wood. So I'm here trying to debate in my mind if I still wanted to make this. And I just had to bite the bullet and say, Chris, show them what you can do of making a piano. Everybody knows you can glitter up a piano with my rhinestone piano over there. Everybody knows that you can rebuild a piano. Like this piano came in, it was garbage, and I rebuilt the whole thing on it. But build a piano, you know. Everybody knows that I can take an acoustic piano, take out the insides, and put a digital inside of it, which I did many times. But build your own piano. And that's what I did. So I took the knowledge that I knew from when I gutted an acoustic piano and put a digital inside of it, and put speakers inside of a soundboard, which I did, and I have a video of that. I took the knowledge of that. I took the knowledge of me building upright pianos. Just want a grand piano cabinet. All they want is to shape. They don't even want it to open. A lot of people don't want it to open. Me, I wanted to take it another step level. I wanted to take another step, level up. That's what I meant to say, or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I wanted to look and act like a piano. So right now, as you can see, the sustain pedal works. These are real piano pedals. Real piano pedals. Sustain pedal works. And I'm going to edit the piano sound so it can sustain longer. It's up to the key slip. So I'm going to edit the piano sound so the sustain's a little bit longer. And I wanted real characteristics of a real piano while I'm playing a little keyboard or digital piano. Even when I'm playing a regular digital piano, I want real characteristics of that. So I want it to look like a piano. I want it to look like a grand piano. And of course, what I could have done is I could have used a bigger keyboard and make it like a baby grand, or I could use an 88 and make it like a concert grand, but it would have been as big as this. So that's why I wanted the smaller keyboard, something that I was not using. The MicroStation, as you can see the keys right here, they're shaped just like a regular piano. The sharps are matte finish color, and it just feels. It doesn't feel like a real piano, but one thing about it is that it comes close to it. I mean, it comes close to it. It sounds like a real piano, which is really good. And there's, as I said, there's a lot of tweaking. I'm still doing as much as I can. I'm almost, as I said, I'm almost to the finish line, which is pretty cool. Once I get to the coloring, that's the finish line. A lot of people's going to ask me too, Chris, why don't you do it white? I was going to do it white. I was planning to do this whole thing white, but the only thing about it is that if I do it white, and if I could do it white, but if I do it the wrong way, satin white won't help. But if I do it the wrong way, it's really not gonna go. And every time that I bump this piano, there's gonna be a scuff mark on it. Hold on just 1 minute, real quick. All right, everybody. Well, I gotta get going because my friend's gonna walk into the door. But thank you for watching my videos, and click like, subscribe, follow me on everything. Have any more questions? Feel free to write in your comments. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.